Hi guys. So I've actually decided to actually make a HTML course for you guys, so you can learn a lot about how to make a website. So basically, what I thought to start from was just to start teaching you guys from a very popular website that I know for a long time, which is w3skills.com. I'll also put the link of this website in the description as well, so you can actually go on your on the website yourself and learn about many things that I've actually learned over the past few years. It actually made me more educated in terms of learning new things, understanding how the website works. So I think I'll start this course with an introduction that what basically is the HTML. So over here you can see that it says that HTML stands for the Hypertext Markup Language. So basically in HTML you get all sort of like text that you mark. So basically it's all about text in the web browser. You're writing a lot of elements to show to the user so they can have a good experience. They can have a view of a website. It can be anything. You can show a lot of things on the website. It also says like HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. So HTML is a very basic language where you can actually learn um, about like a lot of stuff. Uh, so HTML basically describes the structure of a web page. So that's self-explanatory over here. Like you can understand that HTML is the foremost language that actually helps us to understand the structure. Over here you can see like they have like a navigation bar which has a lot of elements over here written right like in HTML form first, so we can see that. Now HTML consists of series of elements. That's what exactly I said, that over here you can see a lot of elements being written down. So it actually explains you and makes you understand to see the content is actually being structured in a very proper organized manner. Now HTML elements tells the browser how to display the content. Okay, now let me tell you something over this point, that HTML is basically a client-side programming. Now what is client-side programming? And you must have heard of the word called server-side programming. Client-side is like something that a client like myself, yourself, when goes on a website can see every element what is being written on this website right now is a client side, because client is us. We go on a website and we can see the elements written over here. The server side programming is something that is done on the back end side, which we cannot see with the visible eye, or we cannot be sure what's written on the back. Like the data is being saved somewhere, which is a server. It can be a MySQL database, a SQL database, or anything. So that is how it's actually being differentiated. Now, HTML elements label pieces of a content, such as this is a heading. So what it says that you can definitely see that HTML can be described in a piece of element. With that piece of element is written as in a paragraph, and they have just written a paragraph example over here. Now there is a simple HTML document written in a doc file. This is a new HTML5 declaration for the HTML, and then you write down an HTML tag. Now the thing that you see, this particular thing is called tag. HTML elements are always enclosed in tags. That's how it's actually enclosed. That in between that element, whatever is written is actually the element defining this document. So over here we have a doc HTML and then a head HTML tags, head tag. In head we have a title for the page, whatever it's being displayed over here. Like you see when I put a cursor over here, it says introduction to HTML. So that is the same thing what's written page title. We to close this thing, a door to enclose the an element, we put the slash in an HTML just to make sure that we open an element, we have to close that so the browser can understand. Because in HTML you need to understand one thing, because when we run the code, uh, the browser doesn't understand the English. It understands the binary code, which is 0100, as you know all. So how does it actually determine that this is some sort of a text that has to be rendered. So what happens is like the code starts to run from the top to the bottom, and it actually runs each and every code in the browser. So that is how it actually understands the language itself. So this is how we describe the end tag. We always have to do that whenever we start an element, and we have to close that with an end tag. So we started with the head tag. Obviously, we have to close that with the end tag, like the slash. Now the we started a body. This is a part where your all code goes in, like your HTML navigation bar, form code, any links that you're putting, headings, paragraphs, everything will go there. I'll show you also, like I have actually made an HTML document. I do have a lot of things over here, so I've just made one. The same thing that we have over here, that is how it goes. You see, let me also show you in here. So this is where our page, oops, sorry. Okay, so we wrote this page title. We can also change that to, we can also change that to HTML course. Now once we save that, go in the browser, refresh the page, it will say HTML course. So everything gets changed once you actually add a new information. So it's always better to actually have some sort of like practice with that. Now this is H1. There are like six heading elements for the H1. I can go ahead and do that for you. 6. So it starts from 2. We'll change that to every of that, just to give you an example. So you do understand, because it does change the height, and each and every for each and every element. And obviously then in that case you will have a greater idea how the things works, if in case like you are using these things for some sort of like a page web designing. It helps you a lot in that longer terms. So now I've actually saved this page. I'll just refresh. You'll see that it starts from H1 and then H2, and the way I go down it keeps getting slower, smaller. So H1 is the maximum height that you can get, and then H6 is the lowest one that you can have with this paragraph thing. Now this is another one, which is a p tag, which is also known as a paragraph tag. In this you don't get such power of an element that to actually create a height. So what you do is you actually do it with the CSS thing, which I'll teach you in the next course. So I hope you have liked my first page. Just do me a favor to watch the whole video. Try to understand that. If you have any questions, just make sure you actually do something to write down in a comment. And if you like the video, I hope you do subscribe my channel, because it means a lot to me. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and actually drop that in the box. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.